evokes like very deep ideas, like Kabbalistic ideas, just like very like but then Rabbi Blake, like all the more so, it's like really like.
You can't read it by yourself. If you open up this app, you're gonna understand this thing. If you really opens it up and he makes it real and he explains the beautiful deep ideas.
You guys didn't know the whole thing each time, or did you?
No, it takes one piece.
Takes one piece.
Yeah.
I feel obliged to mention to you, I've been talking with the Solomon Stolen.
Oh, it's Solomon. Oh, very nice. Yeah. I was on there once. My son's on. Yeah.
You know, nothing that I recall. I know what you're doing. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you to help pass stuff out.
Hey, your son will do more than
In the winter, like especially last week, it's not happening. But
For me, ironically, it's easier in the winter. In the summertime, like my wife and I are like we take the time to like general. And they don't.
Can you see me here?
That's what I'm gonna do. I've really developed a liking to it,
Hey, you can sit wherever you want.
I was gonna grab a couple of waters.
Here.
But, yeah, no, it's
all emotion out on the table.
exactly. For me, it's like it feels different every time. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you are.
I'll tell you, Ellie Richardson,
So you keep eating. I'm gonna start.
the way Ellie kind of phrased it, which,
Okay, well there's time too.
and he grew up like, dominating Solon Spiegel.
Yes. Text both of them because my mom's phone was off.
He has a familiarity with it, obviously culturally, he appreciates it. Like he went to like where Dr. was, and like when I said he made this move to Detroit before he knew that there would ever be anything Solon. But so the tournament was always like a percentage. It's not like a all or nothing thing where it's like if you don't accept the Rebbe upon yourself, like you're. It's I've heard it expressed that Solon is the most Litvakovich out there. There are many people who go to like Solon.
Live stream's on. We're starting in a few minutes. Okay.
Even when he speaks,
Where?
he speaks like an American.
YouTube? That's the only thing I have.
Oh,
shoot. To do that. Yeah, how do I do that? I told my, there we go. Let's share it right here.
Russia.
No, it was Russia. You're right.
Okay, there. Thank you. John, thank you very much. Okay.
Actually, I took a shot of tone with like a couple of the Detroit graduates to girlfriends. Because the rebel was coming in, Parsha Shmos, they had a huge tish. Just Parsha Shmos, like 5 dish ago.
Ellie was going?
Yeah, Ellie was all. The tish was very cool.
Okay, hi everybody. I guess I'm gonna try to get everyone's attention now. So I want to thank everyone for coming. So I guess at first I just want to thank. I should start with the first cause. Let's start with Hashem for creating the world and making the whole thing, and for putting me here and there. I want to thank to my parents, who are hopefully maybe watching, and to my in-laws, and to my wife specifically for helping set that up, and for everyone for coming. I guess the part of the celebration is like I turned 50 this year, so it's an excuse. Like you'll see, I have the little sheets here with sources for the songs basically, and the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos goes through a bunch of times. One of the things it says is Ben Chamishim La'etza. At 50 years old, you're supposed to give Eitzah. So I'm an only child. I'm kind of introverted, but the Torah says I have to give eitzah. So to me, my songs and the poems I've been writing to me are my eitzah. So that's why I felt it was really fair to have a little celebration to share them, not just online, but in public in front of human beings. And it was also I released the second book, so I was excited about that. I finished a cycle of Tanakh Yomi where you learn a parak of Tanakh every day. I finished this week also, so just a bunch of things to celebrate. So I felt like it was a reason to bring friends and family and Jews together to think about important topics. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I guess the basic plan is I'm going to share some poems and some songs. I was going to say, ladies get the couch and guys get there, but everyone's going to figure that out on their own, I guess. It looks like that. And that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to start. If you're interested in seeing what I'm saying, I'm going to go through the first. I'm going to start with the poem. The poem's in here. So if you want to see, you can hear. But I'm just going to tell you what page it's on in case you want to listen. In case you like the visual aid. The poem's called "The Beauty of Shabbos." It's on page 14 in the blue book. Hopefully I think I have it memorized. I'm gonna say it like that. But what I'm gonna do is just speak hopefully for a few minutes before each thing. Tell a little story, just give a little background on what this is about. So I always had when I first started keeping Shabbos, I would have intuition that Shabbos has two functions. That Shabbos is kind of like the end of the week. So it's like, obviously that's clearly what it is, the end of the week, Vayihu L'Shamayim V'Haaretz. But I always felt it was kind of like a battery for the next week. It always recharged me. And so I saw, and you see the source in that the Orach Chaim says basically says the same thing. That Hashem created the world, and he basically gave it enough koach for 6 days, and then it almost runs out of steam and needs Shabbos to recharge for the next week. So that idea is there. And I think just like there's a unique balance, so there has to be a balance between how Shabbos is a means of the end. It's also a means of the beginning, almost like there's a Zachar and there's a Shamar. There's two parts of Shabbos. There's the positive aspects, like doing the things you like to do on Shabbos, and then there's keeping the laws, and there you have to have a balance. So part of the poem is about the concept of balance also, that each one of us has to balance, being a Jew and doing what we're supposed to do, and what Hashem tells us, but we're also all unique and have to do things in our own way. And that's what the idea of Oneg Shabbos. And Shabbos, what's your Oneg? Whatever you like to do. You like to eat plums, so you should eat plums. If you didn't like plums, you can't eat plums. So you have to do what you like to do. So each one of us has a unique way that we serve Hashem on Shabbos. And so this poem is about the balance. And just I can remember. Anyway, so I'll start. So this is the first poem. It's called "The Beauty of Shabbos." Truth and tiferes, beauty and balance, at home with the family, children and parents. At the end of the week, which is the start of the next, it's Olam Haba in an earthly context. Shabbos starts with the shin, the lights begin and are in. The base, which is the bias, and the suf is the end. The tachlis of it all, the purpose of creation. And testimony is the role of an organization. 3 meals on that day. Twice Kiddush we say, 3 times Friday night. We stand up and convey. The world has a creator and we're living in it. And that creator's infinite. In finite we live, infinite we can give. All we have to do is make it our business to reflect eternal wisdom, and then we can tap into reality and towards the map. And Shabbos is not a trap, and you're not a mouse. On Shabbos day, the holiest place is your house. It's the beauty of being and having no doubt that you're in the right place, that there's no more at race. Your work is done, you're having fun, a smile on your face. No need to do, just be a Jew, be still, there's no chase. You can learn with your chavrusa or just meditate. Truth and tiferes, beauty and balance, at home with the family, children and parents. At the end of the week, which is the start of the next, it's Olam Haba in an earthly context. Shabbos starts with the shin, the lights begin and are in. The base, which is the bias, and the suf is the end. The tachlis of it all, the purpose of creation, and testimony is the role of our organization. 3 meals on that day, twice Kiddush we say, 3 times Friday night we stand up and convey. The world has a creator and we're living in it. And that creator's infinite we live, infinite we can give. All we have to do is make it our business to reflect eternal wisdom, and then we can tap into reality and towards the map. It's the map that he gave, it's the road that he paved. Step 1, you have to listen up and behave. Step 2, know that you are unique, don't forget. No one like you will ever live or has lived yet. Okay. First one. Okay. Okay, the next challenge is. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention that I don't know if people's gonna, me and my wife, I'm a teacher, my wife's a social worker, so we have to have things like be inclusive, allow people to speak and stuff. So we asked everyone, like, in the invitation to bring it to, since I'm 50, everyone to bring an eitzah. So when we're done, if everyone, whoever's comfortable, I want to, pick on anybody. I tell my students, if you don't want to say anything, you just, when I call you, just say pass. So if you, if you're uncomfortable speaking in public, it's fine. But we asked everyone just to bring an eitzah. You could tell, just to my mom used to always say, or just, just something small, just so we could hear from everybody. So it's not just like, that's just me talking. Okay, so I'm gonna play a song now. So that was the first challenge. I made it through the poem, so I tried for the song. Song's a little more challenging because I have to play the guitar. Okay, so this is the Mesilas Yesharim. Just a short story how to get to this song about the Mesilas Yesharim. So about 15 years ago, Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel passed away. And the stories coming out about him were just amazing. And I was just flabbergasted because I lived in Eretz Yisrael and I never even heard of it. And I went to Rabbi Klein and I said, how come only I hear people when these people die? Like, why doesn't somebody tell me about this? So he took it to heart and he said, you know what, fine. So he said, so Rabbi Menachem Levine, his father used to be the Rosh, he passed away, but his father was Rosh Hashiva of Chicago Tells. Okay. And he came, sometimes he would come to visit, so he came a Friday night and Rabbi Klein arranged that we could organize to go speak to him. We asked him shilas, we asked him kashas, we sat with him, we sat with the gadol, Rabbi Klein took my complaint to heart and we sat with him. So one of the things he told us, you should learn Mesilas Yesharim 5 minutes every day. So I took that to heart as a makabel, and that was 15 years ago. I've been learning Mesilas Yesharim, I don't say every day, but a lot. And this is my, I have many copies of it, but this is my really ratted up, like marked up copy. And then me and my wife and a few other people, Aaron, you should wash, because it's pizza. We started doing a Musar Vad with one of the Talmidim of Rabbi Kellerman, and we also learned Mesilas Yesharim for that. And Rabbi Weissman, who released the Vad, gave us like a certain particular mashal, like a mashal about when you're learning Musar, you like read the Sefer over and over again. And he said, like, you have a sweater and it has like a wool sweater. And sometimes you walk by a nail and catch a snag, and it snags on you. He said, so when you're learning through Mesilas Yesharim, when you get to like a pasuk, to a verse, to a statement, like when it pulls on you emotionally or intellectually, you just stop. Like, and you just like say it, say it again. And so I used to do that, and then that's where like a lot of the, not only one of the songs tonight, but like 75-80% of the songs are songs from Mesilas, either actual words that he wrote, or he quotes all kinds of verses and stuff. And so I would like hit a verse and I'd say it again, and then I would record it, maybe like a little nigga would come to me, I'd record it on my phone, and then I put a guitar. So that's what this song is. It's a song, it's literally the words of Mesilas Yesharim. It's on this paper here. Shlomo, you want to pass out to see what ladies want? It's the first song here. And the words are like this: V'hat teshuva tinasen lachotim, and teshuva is given to the sinners, b'chesed gomor, with a complete chesed. Shetechashev akiras haratzon ka'akiras ha'maaseh. That he'll consider the uprooting of your will like the uprooting of your deeds. And the basic message is basically like Hashem gave us free will, and not only to give us free will to do the right thing now and for later, but he gave teshuva is such a gift that even if you did something wrong in the past, if you really change your mind about wanting to do it, and you actually can change the past. As if you go back and watch the video, like whatever you did wrong in the past is gone. So it's such a powerful, freeing thing that like when you make a mistake, it's like it's kilo. I say it's okay, but like kilo, it's okay because in the future, if you uproot your will and you really say I didn't want to do that, and you do the proper tshuva, it's like it's gone. And that's to me, it's like a freeing, like powerful message that like it provides so much hope. So I made it to a song. And now I'm going to try to play it properly. Okay. Shehateshuva tinasen lachotim b'chesed kamo. Shehateshuva tinasen lachotim b'chesed kamo. V'techashev akiras haratzon akiras ha'maaseh. V'techashev akiras haratzon akiras ha'maaseh. ושהתשובה תינשא לאחותי בחסד גמור, ושהתשובה תינשא לאחותי בחסד גמור, ותקשר בקירס הרצון, כקירס המעשה, ותקשר בקירס הרצון, כקירס המעשה, ושהתשובה תינשא לאחותי בחסד גמור, ושהתשובה תינשא לאחותי בחסד גמור, ותקשר בקירס הרצון, כקירס המעשה, ותקשר בקירס הרצון, כקירס המעשה, ושהתשובה Okay. That was not terrible. Okay, fine. Okay.
You made it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, my guitar skills aren't so great, but okay. So this is a poem. Sometimes you write a poem, and you have to see it to Shema. You get to the, I recently wrote a poem, I work on it. Sometimes you write it, it comes out, you get to the end, you're like, oh, I'm done, like Geschmack. So that's what this is. It's basically based on Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch, the Mishnah Berurah in Shulchan Aruch says that if you live in Chutz La'aretz, you should mechaven to the Kodesh Kodashim, and the Mishnah Berurah explains you should have in mind that you're standing in front of the Kodesh Kodashim, like you're in the base of the Mikdash and you're standing like you're at the Kohen Gadol. So what I used to do is you're sitting in Abba Soul, and I think, okay, I'll just imagine I'm in the Kodesh Kodashim. That seemed like it's too fast. Like you can't just go right from here to the Kodesh Kodashim. You got to work your way there. So I'll just use my imagination. So I'm at Abba Solam, so I go down 10 mile. When I get to 10 mile, I go to South. When I get to South, I'll go to the airport. When I get to the airport, I'll get on the plane. When I get in the plane, then I'll fly. Then I'll get off at Ben Gurion. Then I'll go through it. And I imagine in my mind. I know it's been a long time, but you go through customs, and then you get on the taxi, and then you go through the hills, and you go up, and you go down. You go to the Jewish quarter to Aish down. And I can imagine. So if you've been to Eretz Yisrael from here, you have to just close your, I'm telling you should close your eyes and just that's what I'm taking you. And if you learn Zvachim and Kodshim, so then you could actually go all the way through to the base of Mikdash. You can follow the whole path. So that's the poem. It's called Ready for Prayer. You'll see why in a second. And it's on the blue book. It's page 27. I used to have this memorized, but I don't have it memorized anymore. So I'm going to read it. But okay. Right? When I'm feeling not ready to pray, I pretend I'm on my way down 10 Mile Road, Southfield Freeway, to the Uber driver, to the airport, I say. Next thing you know, I'm on the plane and through a wormhole that I can't explain. 1 second later, we're in Ben Gurion and I'm through customs the doors and now I'm on a taxi going fast straight to the hills. Outside Yerushalayim, and my mind is filled with anticipation as we climb and curve, and before you know it, we're at the city center. Jaffa Road, down through Jaffa Gate, through tunnels, the Jewish quarter, and right past Aish, down the steps to the Koto Plaza, and I can see the western wall shining brilliantly. But here is where my imagination takes another step, and I leap like a Mario brother over the wall, and you'll never guess the golden pimple's been popped, and there's no stress. The Ezras Nashim is filled with Jews of all stripes, and I march up the steps right past the Levites. I give them high fives since we're saying the same. I give them high fives since we're from the same tribe, and I suggest a tune as I walk right by. I can see the Mizbeach Kohanim running around. Al Pi Halakha, I don't belong, but in my dream you are found. I pass the Mizbeach on the northern side. There's blood on the floor and music behind. I'm in front of the Ulam, the doors open wide, and I can see the Kohanim serving inside. I pass through the doors and I smell the greatest scent. And I'm in a new world as I pass the incense altar and right in between the menorah and the table, and there's the screen. I walk between the curtains, and finally I'm there. It's the Holy of Holies, and I'm ready for prayer. Thank you. That's just one of my favorites. It's just one of those things I wrote, and I was like, ooh, that's the end. Oh, yes.
I mean, for what it's worth, I also find it to be such a unbelievable mental exercise. It's it's funny like, when you start like with Yiddishkeit and like well even before that like I don't know like the Judaism that I was exposed to beforehand where it's like you never talked about like the avoda or like or like the basic mikdash or like but it's like it's so like to make it like so tangible it's really like a changing like a life changing kind of perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, but some things it says in Shulchan Aruch because you're supposed to imagine you're there. So like all I did is just like wherever you are, so you could write wherever you take your own path. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is the song. It's on here. It's a pasuk in Tehillim. It's a Psalm 65, 2 and 3. I hate to say the story behind it is basically like I mean almost all. I didn't grow up religious, so but I did have like a spiritual feeling growing up. Please should wash. Right? You're ready for the next song. Okay. No, go watch. So, so growing up, my parents, took me a lot of times traveling, but also to see not only beautiful things in nature. And when you're confronted with like a beautiful forest with like, giant trees and like mountains and ocean, you have like a sense of, you can feel like the sense of the bracha you make on those things. It's like if you have a sense of awe, and so I was always like fascinated by that. That side, there's a little like you feel like small and silent in front of like great creations. And also growing up when I was interested in like spirituality, Eastern spirituality, all about silent, about meditation, it's all about being quiet and silent. So I was very like when I became frum, it's like everyone's talking all the time, and the davening you're talking, and learning you're talking, and everyone's schmoozing, it's like talking so much. Why is everyone talking so much? So nice, but whatever. I'm all for talking, right? But just like silence was like an important thing for me. So when I came, obviously I've been collecting, you see it, but this is just one of many examples, and actually I have like 2 or 3 or 4 songs about silence basically. But this is the one I picked out to play, and it's a pasuk in Tehillim. I remember I saw it the first time. It's L'cha dumia tehillah, to you silence is praise. Like Hashem, David HaMelech said it. It's the pasuk. So we don't focus on it so much because it's not practical. It's not whatever. But whatever. So I made a song out of it. It's called L'cha dumia tehillah. Hopefully I'll play it correctly. L'cha dumia tehillah. L'cha dumia tehillah, tehillah, l'cha dumia tehillah, Elokim Tzion. L'cha dumia tehillah, l'cha dumia tehillah, tehillah, l'cha dumia tehillah, Elokim Tzion. Ulecha Yeshulam neder, ulecha Yeshulam neder. Shomea tefillah, Shomea tefillah, Shomea tefillah, Adecha kol basar. Shomea tefillah, Shomea tefillah, Shomea tefillah, Adecha kol basar, Adecha kol basar yavau, Adecha kol basar yavau. L'cha dumia tehillah, L'cha dumia tehillah, L'cha dumia tehillah, Elokim b'Tzion. L'cha dumia tehillah, L'cha dumia tehillah, L'cha dumia tehillah, Elokim b'Tzion. Adecha kol basar yavau, Adecha kol basar yavau.
Yeah. Does anyone want to get up and get a drink?
Yeah.
Or get some more food?
Yeah, because everyone should feel like, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna
Before we hear more? Yeah. Yeah, you want to say it?
Shabbat tov. Good to see you again.
and take a drink. Byron, thank you so much for coming. Where were you at? Right. Okay, cool. So do you win anything? Are you gonna be prizes?
They had prizes, but they didn't, my son didn't win this year. Last year, he almost the whole year of a climb with one time base Yehuda and one Shas.
Uh-huh.
But not this year. Now he's done because eighth grade. So.
Oh wow. Crazy.
It's all good.
Okay, yeah.
I know. It's still not a little early. So.
It's still a little, right. We're getting
Yeah,
there.
you are.
And I'd like to go much more longer. You're very, easy. Nice. Also good.
Okay, we're gonna keep going in a few minutes. How much time do we have?
I think one of those new books.
Yeah.
Torf, were you guys away this week?
What?
Were you away this past week?
No. Why?
Tuesday, Thursday. You were busy?
Oh, yeah, you know, we were away. Sorry, Tuesday, my wife's uncle died, so we went Tuesday. And Thursday we went out to, there's a thing called Fever Candlelight, you know, they have these shows. I don't know, that someone organized these shows, but it was 4 people playing a violin, of two violins, a viola, and a cello, and they played Beatles songs and Queen songs, and it was at the Berman Theater. It was at the Berman Theater with like all candles.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's
It was super cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they did like all the Beatles songs I knew. The Queen, I'm not so big Queen fan, so the big famous ones I knew. Like, but it was cool. It was just like, you know, like I guess there's some kind of organization called Candlelight or Fever Candlelight. That's what they do. They organize these shows with just candlelight and just orchestral, you know, like
Strings.
yeah, string. I don't know if it's just strings, but just like, you know, orchestra, like.
I can't remember which tunes they did. It's just a pianist played like. They take like, you know, a modern band and they'll play with
Right.
an orchestra, a small, you know, kind of like a, quartet or whatever, you know.
It was super cool, yeah.
Like just piano. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was like they played like whatever, maybe like 7 or 8 songs of each. It was like an hour, not so long, but it was just me and my, you know, we don't go out so often, so it was like, it was a cool. So we planned doing this for. It's late after my birthday, but it was like we just, you know. Thank you so much for coming. Oh,
It's good. It's good. Good.
thank you. Got a few more
Thank
to
you.
do. My
Appreciate
parents
it.
hopefully are watching. Hi,
Sorry, we
No,
traditionally,
sorry.
sorry, I mean, I guess
I got it.
as late as possible
Yeah.
somehow, but you know.
Can you bet we got you pizza though?
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
so
good.
much. It's so nice. Yeah.
Okay, we're good shot. Let's see if I can round up my life so we can keep going. Yeah. No.
Not officially.
Not officially. It's something else.
What are you doing your shows?
Air shot, we had a few, like, Andrew had a cold, my daughter, she was recovering. I took my son to the baseball card show. It's in Clawson. It's a store called Luton's baseball cards. So they have
Old cards?
They have old cards. You know what they had? So I used to collect when I was real little, and they had unopened packs, 1987 Topps baseball cards. So they're like $2 each. So I was like, this is like for my childhood. Like, so I bought 3 packs just for like. What's that? I didn't open them yet.
You wanna open them or you want?
I sometimes
The
sometimes
Shabbos one, my two
the
favorites.
pleasures, you know, like the anticipation. So I'm like, but there's a. So I usually have like raffles for my students. So I'll have one of them to like raffle off
doing,
as a prize. But there's a piece of gum in each one. So I thought I'm gonna have a halakhic discussion whether you're allowed to eat that piece of gum.
Maybe the Thomas Butler already.
Exactly.
1987.
Exactly. So right? Isn't that interesting? Is it still considered food?
Right.
Is it no ten Talmud gum? Is it? It's a whole. It's a whole thing.
How much did he, what did he do so far?
I did a poem, a song, a poem, a song.
How many
I did
poems?
4.
How many songs?
I'm doing 9 total. I did 4.
Your nephew got MVP. returning.
I'm gonna do 3 more poems and 2 more songs.
He was in with trees, he was getting the lane. They just can't get it working on
They
hospital.
just can't get it.
Although, in Toronto,
They're huge. They're sending.
Please, drink, eat.
What am I gonna do?
The Trieste brought that wine. It's good. I mean, I don't really like that kind of wine, but I tasted it, and I tasted it. I'm not such a sensitive soul when it comes to wine, but I could taste it. I was like, oh, I think this is a good one.
did you play the ball at all?
I don't know. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Do you normally leave Leia home with the kids? No.
So Leia, I mean, especially if the kids are sleeping,
Yeah.
like we feel a little more
Right.
comfortable with
So
it.
you're
But
on the team, right? You made a
yeah,
shot at one point.
it's funny. Like our baby's usually trusted to stay asleep after we put her down. So
That's it.
even we made a bill right before we came here, and so then like our 4-year-old, 4-year-old, like he woke up to 3-year-old ago. It's like, wait a second, we put you to sleep an hour ago. So I think that something's in the air of the house or whatever.
Did Bina leave?
No clue. Go check.
I'm just curious. No,
I think for right now we're gonna give it another 10 minutes or so, and then.
Okay, whatever.
But
Well, you can come back. You can go and come back. If you
I'll
want.
come back
I think
obviously.
she left.
She well, I think she had play practice. I
But
don't
it's
know
still
what
live.
Yes.
Anyone who's watching this.
Yeah. I mean, I only sent it to my parents, so I don't know. I think we're gonna try to start in a few minutes.
Hello.
I was in public school.
You can talk to grandma. Here, do it here. This is do a few jokes. So do a few
K3, I
jokes.
was in like a Solomon Shepherds.
I think I have to go. The truth is, if I'm gonna go home, I may as well go home
Community in Allen.
earlier than that.
You were there.
Hello.
Albany.
So either come do some jokes and just leave it.
So, there we go. Good to see you. What's going on? It's good. Can't complain.
Do they still have a route there now or don't come to Shopper?
No, in Albany they still have a route. Albany because they get a lot of traffic because you get these Hasidim going from Montreal to New York City. So they're gonna right off of the 87 going to the New York State Freeway. Yeah. Yeah, they get people coming in like stopping for like a Mincha Marv.
Oh, wow.
But like in terms of like a permanent community, they're not so much.
But is Albany very close to Schenectady or?
Yeah.
It's really the same way?
Like 20-25 minutes.
How long will your parents?
It'll be only a year and a half.
Now, if your parents been retired a long time.
Okay, we're starting again. I'm gonna start up again in a minute. So
Hi.
try to get yourself into, get your last drinks or whatever. And I have to wait for my wife though, so I gotta wait. She's about. I told her, dude. She said you could start in a few minutes. So I'm starting. I'm gonna start without her.
I love the line, the wordplay on infinite. Infinite we live. That's a nice.
Go. Now my grandma's up.
What?
Jackson, there's no way ground.
I don't know. Hopefully,
Oh, wait,
they're in Florida.
Oh, wait.
No, they're not.
Knoxville.
They're in they're in Gainesville. They're in Gainesville. No, they went to Knoxville the first night, and then they're staying.
Knoxville with their friends.
No, that was last night.
Oh.
Tonight they're driving. They can't check into their Airbnb until tomorrow, so they're staying in a hotel somewhere in Florida now.
You didn't send the link to anyone?
No,
Except for Grandpa?
I just no. I can post it when it's done. Just try not to spill on this. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's right.
So this week I'm off the school this week.
You get the whole week off?
So I'll be
Hi,
able
Grandma,
to
Grandpa,
Tuesday,
if
Thursday,
you're watching
so
this.
more.
I'll be said he's
I don't
about
know,
to
you're probably
continue.
at school though, yeah?
Bye.
Monday. We have Friday and
You had last Friday off too?
Where is everyone?
So go tell them, go get them.
we used to get a full week off in February, and then we just turned into like
Fell apart. It's not really, it's really not necessary. It's just part of like, it was just standard, like, we're like, we just had 2 weeks off for Christmas. In a month, we have spring break.
Look at that phone call.
Okay, yeah? I know, but she's not even in here.
Yeah, it's good.
So your son got paid for landing this today?
Yeah,
Good for him. Good for him. That's good. Did it take him a long time to prepare?
they asked him on Monday.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So
So
he
you
upped his
crammed?
price.
Really? Wow. That's a good skill to have. Yeah, you can do it.
You know, you open up both.
I mean, a little
You know
bit.
that is.
Yeah.
So he's getting remarried tomorrow.
Oh, well, I didn't know he was divorced.
Yeah, but he's getting remarried,
Huh?
and they're off roof at Abraham's school, and they asked my son to land on Monday. So he said.
The whole parsha?
No. I told the guy who asked, don't make him do Shkolim, like, push him to Shkolim. And he usually asks for $100.
Well, Shikolim is pretty easy.
Yeah, that's quickly, but he what this long.
Yeah. And it's complicated too.
It's
100 and something
He asked for
people.
$125.
Oh,
Good for
okay.
him. Good for him.
And he did.
Yeah, she said I could start, but I'm not.
Grandma, Grandpa always did. They texted Bina.
Okay. Okay, good. So where?
Hi. I heard you staying up. Hello.
Don't speak into the microphone. So where is Ima? Ariella.
It started off as a tent. It's a COVID.
So I can't start without her in here.
Abraham's tent, we called it.
Good name, I like that.
I know, yeah.
Tina, were you here? Were you here from anything or no?
I'm here for most of it.
Oh, okay, fine.
I missed one.
We're starting again in a second. I'm trying to get your mother to come in here.
Great. Bina,
Should I do this? Can you hear me clap once? Can you hear me clap once? But how do you get your cat class attention?
I do,
You hear me clap once? Hear me clap twice?
Bina,
Okay. Should I do that? No.
Bina's,
Okay, hi.
one of Bina's friends got into the same place.
Oh, Mazel. Okay, hi everybody.
But she said,
So with my class, I do like, if you can hear me clap once, you can clap twice. There you go, it works. Okay.
she said
Okay.
you should
So if you want to see, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is we talked about tefillah, we talked about silence. We're gonna talk about Torah now. So a quick introduction. This poem's on page. It's in the blue book, on page 18. It's called the Gut Zach. So it's based on Simchas Torah and Avos Olam. At least we sing this song that they wrote when the Vilna Gaon died. It says I'm not gonna go the whole story, but it goes like learning Torah is a Gut Zach. Olam Haba is a Gut Zach. Learning Torah. It's a whole Yiddish song, but so that's part of the it's on 18, I think. And then, so that's part of and the ending of the poem kind of goes with that. But the real impetus of the poem, obviously, Torah, we love Torah, and it's amazing. But where I kind of got the idea came to me from this was about the pleasure of learning Torah. Rabbi Ari Leibowitz, who teaches at YU, many years ago, he gave a series of shirim on classic, famous introductions to Sfarim in Torah, which is a lot of very famous introductions. The Rambam to the Mishnah Torah, and it's a thing that Jews write good introductions. So there's a sefer called the Eglei Tal, which is about Hilchos Shabbos, and in Eglei Tal he wrote a Hakdama. It's a famous Hakdama apparently, and in the Hakdama he talks about learning Torah, and he says the following thing. He says Katzas b'nei Adam he has people come to him. He says, he says I like to learn Torah, be mechadish, come with new ideas. But people come to me and they say, maybe better just to learn simple, because when you're mechadish and come up with new ideas, that you get so much joy out of it that you're not doing it lishma. Meaning you're supposed to do mitzvahs for God's sake, for the holy purposes. So if you're enjoying it, so that you're doing it for yourself. So he said. He says people say to me, maybe you should just learn simple. You'll like it, but if you have too much of a geschmack, it's like it's rooting the lishma. He said, punkt verkehr. He said, no. He says, no. When you have to learn with geschmack, because the only way Torah gets like swallowed up into your neshama is you have to enjoy it. And he says the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov only grow with simcha. And he says just the opposite. He says you have to like learning Torah, because that's the only way. It's almost like it's a part of the mitzvah is enjoying it. That not only should you like not you have to like it. It's almost if you're not liking it, you're doing it wrong, which is like a crazy thing. So it means learning Torah is the thing you're supposed to love doing it. It's supposed to be it's like the most amazing thing. So that's what the poem's about. So I think I have this one memorized. Learning Torah is the most pleasurable thing. That's why when you do it, you're supposed to sing. You can hum, chant, rap, yodel. It's your decision. Just make sure when you do it with a nig. And you can buzz like a bumblebee, a coon like a pigeon. And when you say it, let me start again, I'm sorry. Learning Torah is the most pleasurable thing. That's why when you do it, you're supposed to sing. You can hum, chant, rap, yodel. It's your decision. Just make sure when you do it with a nig. And you could buzz like a bumblebee, a coon like a pigeon. And when they say you too loud, say that's my religion. At least here and now in these United States, we have the freedom to learn, but not just in Lake. Would you believe me if I told you that learning is fun? Let's take a look at the sources, break them down. Number 1. Pikude Hashem Yesharim Mesamke Leiv, source 2, it comes from Mishlei, Simcha La'ish, Lamane Piv, happiness is when the words they leave your mouth, it's the sweetness of a swift reply, and the bracha that we make is another raya, proof that the Torah's got the big geschmack, and the blessing that we make is Harev Na, please make it sweet, the Torah on our lips. And if you want to ask the question like the Talmud did, what is the punishment for King David for calling Torah a song? And the answer is, he called it a zimra, which means cut off, but the Torah is a shira. It's so lofty, it goes on, and it can't be cut. And when you learn real deep, it goes into your gut. The Malach taught you in the womb, so no matter what, it doesn't go away like you're sinking the putt. The golf ball ain't gone, it's just underground. The Torah is so sweet, and I love the sound in my ears and my mouth when I'm taking a walk. Learning Torah is a good desire. Okay, songs are more challenging because I have to play the guitar. Okay, so this song, it's a pasuk it's in Proverbs. It's on the back, Mishlei. This song is also actually in our Musar Vad. We're learning about Simcha on the Musar Vad I'm in, and Rav Volbe has a sefer called Ali Shor, and Ali Shor he quotes this pasuk in talking about Torah and Simcha. And it's the verses V'heyeh Salamon V'heyeh Shashuim Yom Yom Misachakis Lefanav Kol Es. So the pasuk in Proverbs, King Shlomo personifies certain things. So he personifies the Torah. So this is the Torah speaking. The Torah is wisdom. It's speaking to God. It's saying V'heyeh etzel Amon. I was with you they translate Amon in 2 different ways. The Meforshim. Amon means like Amuna, like Hadassah hu Omen, like he was a nursling, like she's a nursing baby. Like when God created the world, before the world was created, there was the Torah, and he was like nursing. It was like he was the mother, and the Torah was like the nursing baby. And it says V'heyeh Shashuim Yom Yom. I was just like playing with you all day, like a little baby was playing with his mother. And then also Amon can also mean like Amon can mean like a kli malachto that you use. So it's like Hashem used the Torah to create the world. So the Amon is like a kli. Hashem you make the world. And it says Misachakes Lefanav Kol Es, that Hashem plays with the Torah all the time. And the ace comes, like King Shlomo says in Koheles, there's 28 aces. There's a time to this, and there's a time to that, there's a time to this. The Torah is everywhere all the time, and it's always fun to play with. That's basically, and that's Hashem's connected to the world through the Torah, and we're connected to Hashem through the Torah, and it's just like so that's what the song that's what the verse is about. So this is the song. V'heyeh etzel Amon, תהיה שעשועי יום יום, משחקת לפניו בכל עץ. והיה אצל המון, והיה שעשועים יום יום, משחקת לפניו בכל עץ. משחקת, משחקת בכל עץ. בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ. בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ. והיה אצל המון, והיה שעשועים יום יום, משחקת לפניו בכל עץ. והיה אצל המון, והיה שעשועים יום יום, משחקת לפניו בכל עץ. משחקת, משחקת בכל עץ. בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ. בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ, בכל עץ. Okay, so this one I have a, this one I have, so this one I have a, are you leaving? Okay, I love you. Okay, so this is gonna be in, this is in the red book. It's page 44. So I've, then this, okay, so I'm not gonna go through the whole story of my life, but I'm gonna short amount. So for most of you know, I met my wife. My wife is a complete stranger that I met in a park in New York City. 1998, so you can do the years, 28 years ago almost. And
When we were Bina's age.
at Weish, you were Bina's age. Okay. So, okay, so I don't know how much. I'm not going to go through the whole story of how the whole thing, but basically, I was in New York City for one day, and I was on a road trip traveling from. I was visiting friends in Philadelphia and in Princeton and then in Maine. I happened to stop in New York City for one day. And I happened to be in Washington Square Park on July 24th, 1998, and close to evening, dusk. And I happened to make eye contact with this girl over right here.
And what's the Hebrew calendar?
It was Rosh Chodesh Av. And I'm not going to through the whole. I'm going to talk too much because I can spend the whole evening talking about this for a whole hour. But just the part of the story I never told. This is one small part of the story I really don't normally ever tell. So we met that evening and we started schmoozing and we talked. And we just hung around. It started getting dark and we talked. She was there with her friends. We started talking. We just walked around the block and schmoozed probably 2-3 hours and like that. At some point she had to go back to her dorm for curfew or whatever. So she said we basically said maybe let's get together again. And I think she asked me, we had a fun time. I said I'm driving to Maine tomorrow. I don't live here, so I don't know. I knew that she lived in Toronto, but maybe I didn't tell her in Detroit, whatever. So she said, so let's meet in the morning. So we made a plan to meet at 8:00 in the morning at Washington Square Park. So she went back to Brooklyn, and I stayed. I didn't really go to sleep that night. I kind of wandered around New York City, and I was staying in a hostel, but I just kind of wandered around all night, and I did all kinds of things. I did Tai Chi in New York, whatever. And then, so first of all, I have evidence because this is the actual journal that I had. Okay, and you can see right here it says 8 a.m. Washington Square Park because that's what I wrote. And this is Ariela's name and phone number in Toronto with her handwriting right here in case you want extra evidence. That's not the best part. So the best part is I went back to Washington Square Park at 8:00 in the morning, and she also went back to Washington Square Park in the morning, and she came and we went out for bagels. We schmoozed for the morning, and I read her some poems.
He read me poems. Called your mom.
Your mom is a planet. Your mom is a. I don't know the whole thing. Your mom is a planet. She circles the sun. Don't let her. Something like that. I still remember that one.
Then you became her appropriate son-in-law. You told your mother-in-law.
So anyway, how is it relevant to the song? So before, when she left, she gave me a card. This is the card she gave me. It's a Marc Chagall painting, and on the back she wrote 3 words in her name. I think it's still here. I just taped it here, so I didn't have the heart to untape it because I don't want to rip it. But on the back she wrote, because I know that I'll just she wrote the words "We will dance." I never really told anyone this. We will dance. So. Yeah, I don't really tell this part of the story, but fine. So that's the name of the song. That's the name of the poem is "We Will Dance." I actually wrote a guitar song called "We Will Dance" many years ago. The chords are actually in here. Well, I didn't learn it. I don't play it, but I wrote it for 2 or 3 years ago. A few years ago for her birthday, I wrote this poem and I gave it to her. I don't know if I wrote it. I just wrote it. Whatever. If I gave it to you for her birthday, I drew it up. Yeah, I drew it up. So anyway, so I wrote this. So that's the poem. Ready? It's on page 44. Okay. We will dance, she said, when they met the first time. It's a song of the songs in the form of a rhyme. King Solomon's song, get the metaphor, get the love story, Kedushin, the first moment we met. The whole story flashed right before their eyes. The whole world is a mask that he wears disguised. The whole point wasn't just that they met. The whole metaphor, get the metaphor, get of a man and a woman, marriage and family. From the first time they met to the anniversary, leaving Mitzrayim and the trip to the mountain, leaving Ann Arbor and the trip to the fountain, finding Dr. Free and leaving him behind. Caught the lioness, not a trap but a fine. We will dance, she said, when they met the first time. It's a song of the songs in the form of a rhyme. King Solomon's songs, get the metaphor, get the love story, Kedushin, the first moment we met. More like Jacob and Rachel, not David and Bathsheba, like Adam and Eve, not in Eden but Teva, not in the Middle East or in the Middle West, outside of the land that we live the best. Way I can explain Washington Square Park, it's like the way that the animals came to the ark, 2 by 2 in pairs, Benalla, soulmates on a ship to an ancient pals, Beshert on steroids. I can say with no malice that Hashem made the match. Shad Khan is not callous. He's smooth like the skin on the face of a baby. We knew when we met. It's a yes, not a maybe. We will dance, she said, when they met the first time. It's a song of the songs in the form of a rhyme. King Solomon's song, get the metaphor, get the love story, Kedushin, the first moment we met.
What's actually amazing about that story is that when I went home that evening to my friends, I said to them, guys, this is totally crazy, but I'm going to marry this guy. I just know I'm going to marry this guy.
Okay, so one more song, one more poem. Okay, this is the emotional part of the evening. Okay, so this song.
Sean should be so easy for yeah.
Okay, so one more song, one more poem I have. So this is Tehillim we say often in Psalm 91. We say it on Shabbos. We say it Motzi Shabbos also. You'll see the words there. So the reason I made this a song. It's a verse, whatever. But the story behind it is, when Bina was a little girl, we had an accident. We had an accident in the house, and she had a severe burn. I got a call from Ariella Friday afternoon at school, and she said there's a problem. By the time I came home, her and my mom, Bina, were already on the way to the hospital, and we didn't know really. It was like right before Shabbos, and like. So all I knew was that my daughter had a severe burn, and she was at the hospital with my wife and my mother. And like it was Shabbos, and it was like.
Bina was like 6.
Bina was 6, I don't know, 7. She was very young. It was like I was just traumatic for them. It was traumatic for me. It was like I was like home. And I was home with 1, 2, 3 other kids, and like we had guests. Like we had guests coming. The winemakers were coming for lunch the next day, and like they came anyway. So. That was I couldn't fault like I didn't like I could it was like a very difficult. I mean obviously it was difficult for them probably, but for me whatever I just remember it was very difficult, like not knowing like what the problem was and whatever. And the next morning I davened Shachar at home, and when I said these words of this verse, because the word is Yikra'eni ve'enu imo anakim b'tzara, the pasuk says that Hashem is with you in your pain, and I read that verse like sometimes King David writes all these things. You're like, what is he talking about? But like sometimes you come across you like whoa like that's like oh this is what he's talking about. And so I made a song out of it because I don't know it was like an emotional thing. So this is the song. יושב בסייסר עליון, בסל שקיץ לא נע. יושב בסייסר עליון, בסל שקיץ לא נע. יקרא עיני בעיניהו, אמו אנוכי בצרה. יקרא עיני בעיניהו, אמו אנוכי בצר, אמו אנוכי בצר, אמו אנוכי בצרה. יושב בסייסר עליון, צל שקיץ לא נע. יושב בסייסר עליון, צל שקיץ לא נע. יקרא עיני, יקרא עיני, יקרא עיני בעיניהו. אמו אנוכי בצר, אמו אנוכי בצר, אמו אנוכי בצרה. Okay, so one more I want to say. This is also like, well, emotional, I guess, too, but whatever. So this is the blue book. So after part of my growing up being like not religious, like I knew I was Jewish growing up, but I feel like my Judaism was like I connoted to like the like I like I'm as Jewish as I'm from Detroit. I like the Tigers, like I could play basketball. That was like how Jewish I was. As time goes on, my Jewish identity became more religious, and you go to live in Eretz Yisrael, you identify, like as I grow older, there's a famous letter that that the Piasetzner Rebbe, the Eish Kodesh, wrote, and he turned 40. He wrote like a famous letter that he has, and he says, he writes, I think if I think about it, I learn Torah as much as I can, and I daven as much as I can, and I do everything I can, but I'm not really sure I'm a Jew yet. Like, am I really a Jew? Do I really identify with the Jewish people? Am I really like a Jew? That's what he says. And he used to be a Piasetzner Rebbe, dying so for myself, like I think that as I grow older, I identify more and more with the Jewish people, with Klal Yisrael. Like it's like part of being a Jew is really identifying with the Klal. October 7th, obviously for all of us, was like a really like powerful time where like I was like that feeling in the pit of your stomach. I was like really like it's terrible that bad things happen. You identify with the Jewish people, but it was like another level of my like identity as a Jew, so I wrote like a guitar song about it too, but I'm not going to play that. But I wrote a poem, more about like thinking about the soldiers and stuff. That's what it's about. So it's called For the Soldiers for the IDF. That's really like I wrote it almost like for the soldiers, I guess. I don't know what soldiers. I recorded it. I put it on YouTube. I don't know if any soldiers ever heard it. Hopefully somebody did. If you want to share, if you know any soldiers, you can share it with them. That was the goal. I don't know. Anyway, so this is the poem. It's on page 21. Oh, and the other thing, I guess the last thing is at the end of the poem is the Zohar says that Yisrael and Kuchiburchu and Araisa, the Torah and the Jewish people and God are one, whatever that means. So that's kind of like that we should feel like we're like all one. That's kind of like the end of the poem, basically. So it's on page 21. This one's for the soldiers out there in the war, whether you're up at the front or you've been there before. Thank you for protecting the Am and the land. You should know you are part of the plan Hashem made to bring this world to its proper place, with no more war and peace on the face of the earth and the worthwhile endeavor we are. And this one's for the Chayalim who've died so far, making Kiddush Hashem with the life that you lived. And even though the next world is real, I would give anything in the world to bring you back to this world so I could give you a hug and a kiss. And even though we don't know each other at all, the soul of every Jew is intertwined, and we call the rope that we are Yisrael plus Knesset. And so no matter where you are, don't forget it, and I won't either, and that's the deal, and we're done. Hashem and the people and the Torah are one. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us. There's cake. Also, what about people's eitzah?
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if anyone who was willing to share, but I asked everyone to bring, if anyone wants to bring their eitzah, I'm going to turn this off.
And if you share an eitzah, you
Get a piece of cake. So would anybody like to start? Does anybody have any?